Greetings. Welcome back to my channel, Ham Radio Test and Review, where the motto of the channel is, one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions. Today, I'm going to be testing a new series of antennas that I call Stubby antennas. These are antennas that are for HTs that are 4 inches or less in length. Some of these antennas are dual band, some of them are tri-band, and some of them are monoband. So just be prepared. I'll decipher everything for you as I go along to all the different antennas. For today, I'm going to be testing an antenna from a company called Gabil Radio, and that's spelled G-A-B-I-L, Gabil. And they're a company out of Taiwan, so it's not your usual Chinese company. And they make all sorts of interesting things. Some of their stuff I found to be not so great a quality. This antenna might be one of those, might not be, but we'll have to see, because as you know, in my channel, we wait until we get all the testing done before we give any kind of an opinion. So kick back, relax, and I will get back to you in just a second with all the details and all the specifications. So here's the antenna. It's only 1 3/4 inches long. It does have printed on it in very light gray, Gabil Antenna or Gabil Radio Company, and then the model number, which is GRA-SCH-32. It has an SMA female connector. So for most of your Baofeng type radios that have the SMA male connector. It's actually rather stubby. It's about 1/2 inch in diameter, and it's made out of very hard plastic. Here is the packaging that it comes in. It's a small package, you know, your usual plastic junky thing. It says that SMA female on it. It says that it is a tri-band. However, note the bands. The bands are for 144, 430, and 900. So in other words, 2 meter, 70 centimeter, and 33 centimeter. Maximum power is 10 watts. It's supposed to be a quarter wave, and it weighs 20 grams, if that means anything to you. Let me come back. I'll come back with the rest of the specifications. Here are the specifications as stated on Amazon per their Gabil's advertising. It is specified as a 3-band antenna. It is 1 3/4 inches in length, made out of hard plastic with the SMA female connector. The impedance is not specified. The SWR is not specified by the manufacturer. The maximum power specified by Gabil is 10 watts. There's no gain specified, but it is specified as a quarter wave antenna. The one thing that I can also tell you is, sorry about that, is that it costs $14.99 on Amazon. As of today, which is May 5th, the antenna does not show up on the Gabil website as being for sale. However, it's still for sale on Amazon, and I don't know if Gabil is shipping them from their warehouse, and they are a Taiwanese company, so it could come from Taiwan, or if they're shipping them from somewhere here in the United States, especially if Amazon is taking care of all their sales. I did order a few items from Gabil in the past. Some of them came very quickly because they were here in the States, and some came took quite a while to ship here because they waited a long time to ship them. And then after they waited quite a while to ship them, it took quite a while to get here because it came from Taiwan. So just something that you should be aware of when you're ordering from this company. I'll be right back with all the results, and we're going to get started on testing, because one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions. We're testing the Gabil Radio GRA-SCH-32 Stubby antenna. We're testing on the 2 meter band, and we get an SWR of approximately 3.03 with a wattage of 6.27. Now we're testing on the 70 centimeter band, and we get an SWR of 1.72, power output of 3.31. Since this antenna, even though it's considered a tri-band antenna, it does not include the 1.25 meter band, so therefore we won't be testing on that band. But I will, for all my GMRS fans, test this antenna on the GMRS channel number 16, and we get an SWR of 2.75 and a power output of 2.48. All right, got my Nano VNA all set up here. I'm going to turn it on. It's going to come on the 2 meter band. We'll see what it looks like. And oh, very interesting. All right. The SWR at the center of the 144 to 148 megahertz frequency is 2.266. All right. On the 70 centimeter frequency, another interesting scan here. At the center of the frequency, we get 1.215. This antenna is not specified as working on the 1.25 meter band, so we will test it now on the GMRS band. And at the center of the band, we get an SWR of 2.90, basically. 2.901. All right, now I'm going to perform the field strength test, first on the 2 meter band. Next, we'll perform the field strength test on the 70 centimeter band. And of course, we're not going to perform the field strength test on the 1.25 meter band since the antenna is not specified for that. But for all you GMRS fans, I will be testing this right now with the channel 16 of the GMRS frequencies. Okay, I'm out at a new park today. I'm still in Prescott, Arizona. And I came to this new park for a specific reason. That's to test stubby antennas. Now, I define stubby antennas as 4-inch long or less. There might be a different definition for it, but that's how I define stubby antennas. Anyway, today I'm testing the Gabil GRA-SCH-32. Now, that is kind of a rip-off copy of the Miracle Baby SCH-32 made by Comet. Or it might be the CH-32 made by Comet, sorry. Anyway, I'm testing that today. I have my simplex repeater set up with my Baofeng radio on the other end, and I'm using a sister radio here, the Baofeng UV17 Pro GPS, which I use tremendously. This is the antenna right here. It's about 1 3/4 inches long, and it will hit my repeater from here, but we need to find out how much static we're listening to. It's very hard for me to find a park or someplace that I can go with a relative immunity here so that I can test these antennas and still be able to find out if they're going to make it to my base station or if they're not going to make it. So I've decided to use this place because they all pretty much make it, but the good ones make it in full quieting and the not so good ones make it with static. So let's test this out and see how it sounds. This is N8DAV testing 1 2 3 4, testing 1 2 3 4. Okay, it helps that I turn the radio on. This is N8DAV testing 1 2 3 4, testing the Gabil antenna, the SCH-32 stubby antenna. Let's see how it sounds. This is N8DAV testing 1 2 3 4, testing the Gabil antenna, the
32. Stubby antenna. Let's see how it sounds.
Well, as you can hear, there was quite a bit of static, meaning that it doesn't get out anywhere near as well as the better antennas that get into my repeater full quieting. So the performance of this antenna so far has not been fantastic, but it's not that bad either. Let me get back to my ham shack and we can review all the results and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, welcome back to my ham shack. So what did we learn with all the testing today? Well, here's what I found. Um, with using the standard SWR meter, putting power through the antenna, we came up with a SWR on 2 meter of 3.03. And using the nano VNA, we came up with an SWR of 2.3. So I think close enough that the nano VNA verified the, the power SWR meter that I'm using. On the 70 centimeter, I came up with 1.72 on the power meter, and I came up with 1.25 on the nano VNA. On the 1.25 meter band, I don't test it if they don't specify that it's useful on that frequency. Then on GMRS, I know it's not specified on that frequency, but I have so many GMRS fans that I do this as a favor to them because, you know, they love to use antennas and love to test antennas and play with antennas just like I do. So on the GMRS band, I ended up with 2.75 on the power meter and 2.9 on the nano VNA. So all that's very close. So the nano VNA and the power SWR meter were close enough that they verify each other. The readings are more than likely correct. Now, on the simplex field strength meter, unfortunately, this is the first antenna that I'm testing in the Stubby antenna series. So I will give you what came up on the power meter, but I mean on the field strength meter, but I have nothing to compare them to yet. So as I get more and more antennas, and I've got quite a few Stubby antennas to test, as I get through them all, I'll be able to compare all the results. On the 2 meter band, I got minus 2.0 dB. On the 70 centimeter band, I got plus 2.2 dB. And on the GMRS band, I got minus 1.2 dB. Once again, I have nothing to compare that to until I get more antennas tested. Now, what did we learn on the field strength test? Well, what I found was that I can't go to my regular park that I like to test other antennas because the Stubby antennas just don't get out anywhere close to what a regular antenna gets out to. They are very, very compromised and they very, very short range antennas only. So I went to a park about a quarter to a half a mile from my house. It's almost line of sight to my antenna, except for the fact that I have one house, two houses, and an outbuilding at the park between me and my antenna. Plus, I went under a gazebo, metal roof gazebo, to do the testing because it was raining today. So here's what I found. I found testing all sorts of different Stubby antennas that I had a hard time finding one where I would have some fail to reach my repeater and some might make it to my repeater. So I compromised a little bit at this park because I was able to hit my repeater with all my little Stubby antennas that I brought with me today. But it was very, very telling as to how much static I had with each antenna. So I'm going to keep going back to the same place for testing all these Stubby antennas, and we'll be able to determine how well they're getting into my repeater by how much static we get on return. So just so you know, I think that that's going to work out really, really well. So this antenna, it did okay. It didn't do great. The SWR on 2 meter and was not that great. On GMRS, not that great. On 70 centimeter, it was very good. So, you know, what are we going to take from that? If you're going to use this antenna and your radio mostly on 70 centimeter, then it might be okay for you. But I would wait until you see a few more of my videos on different stubby antennas to see if maybe there might be something better. I can't really recommend this antenna because there might be some better ones out there. If after I find that there's nothing but worse antennas, then I'll come back and add on to this video and say that this might be a recommendation. But at this point in time, I can't say for sure that this is a good recommended antenna, especially for the price. Some of the other stubby antennas are so cheap. So, you know, if they're about the same as this one, you can get one for 1/4, 1/5, 1/3 the price. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you press like and subscribe to my channel. My name is Dave. I live in Prescott, Arizona. My call sign is November 8 Delta Alpha Victor. That's N8DAV, and my name is Dave, and my name is in my call sign. And my motto is, one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions, and I'm saying 73s and so long.